Hi, welcome to the Avid Knits podcast. My name is Sarah and I'm going to be your host today. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry, both as Avid Knits, and we do have a Ravelry group known as the Avid Knits podcast group. I hope you'll come over there and join us for our knit along, which is the Summer Sun make along. You can knit or crochet. All the details are on that Ravelry thread, so I won't bore you with them right now. So let's get into it. It is a disgusting 94 degrees here in Houston. We got a couple days of rain, which was great when it was happening, and then I think all it did was amp up the humidity, and now it's gross again. So, it's okay. It's early for this. That's why I'm complaining. It's just early for this, but I guess this is the new normal, right? So the eagle-eyed among you will spot that we are having a little bit of a different setup today. I was watching a couple of my recent episodes, and my energy has been so low lately, you guys. I am so sorry for that. That just does not make for good watching. It's a very difficult season for me on a lot of fences. If you're a returning viewer, you will know that I spoke a little bit in my first episode about my late husband and being widowed at 27, and our anniversary quote was near the Memorial Day era, and I come from a very long line of military family, and Memorial Day is just, it's a really hard time for me, and in today's political climate, it makes it a little bit harder, and that's what I'm going to say about that. If you are not a returning viewer, and this is your first time checking out the podcast, hi, I'm glad you stopped in, thanks so much. I hope you'll stick around for it. And we're just gonna jump right into it. I will try to leave life stuff until the end. I make absolutely no promises. The last couple of episodes have been pretty scattered. So, okay. Our first segment is usually what I'm wearing today, but Houston summer. I'm not wearing anything. It's too hot. This is from Target. Go get yourself some. They're really great. So I don't have a what I'm wearing segment. So we're just going to jump right into finished objects. I know I said I wasn't going to show you guys these again, but I did put in the heels. I did an afterthought heel for the first time. I'm not going to lie to you, I messed it up. I'm hoping it's not too overly noticeable for her whenever, these are for my friend Camille, by the way, for those of you who don't know. She's one of my best friends. She lives in Portland, Oregon, and I just went to go visit over Mother's Day, and she treated me really good. It was great. But I followed the Kirby Werby tutorial on how to do an afterthought heel, which is one of the most highly recommended tutorials out of all the podcasters that I watch. From what I can tell, the difference in hers is basically that you leave a couple of stitches. So whenever you do an afterthought, you find out where you want your heel. Let's say you want it right here, and then you're going to pick up the row above and the row below the row that you plan to cut, and then you cut and you unpick from the middle this way and then from the middle this way. Basically from the Kirby Werby tutorial, really the thing that I can find is that she maintains a couple stitches on each side so that you don't get those holes that you would normally get for an afterthought heel. I don't know. It didn't even occur to me to stop and think about it. When she tells you how to measure out your heel placement, she talks about, she gives you a measurement for the heel of what typically your heel will end up measuring when you do an afterthought. And then she includes a toe measurement. And she says, so, you'll have that for your toe as well. And so I kind of took that to mean, since you're going to have that for your toe, you would measure from your toe up the foot. I don't know why I thought that. Don't ask. Logic was not my forte that night, apparently. So obviously I cut in the wrong place. So I basically had to go back, and I did do a 3-needle bind off. So there's a seam on the inside, and then I just bound off this way. It looks a little wonky. I had a stitch break right here, and I had to... You guys, I am not re-knitting these. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, Camille won't care. She'll think that they're great. So these are my contrasting heels for my socks. This is the Knitted Wit in PDX Carpet, and the heels are an O wool. it was just a mini. I honestly don't even think that it has nylon in it, so I'm sure that I will be getting these back to patch. That's okay. I don't mind. Yeah, so that's really my only finished object. I've started a couple of things. I have a couple works in progress. I've got some stash stuff to talk about, but you know, when you knit sweaters as much as I do, the progress seems to be a little bit thin on the ground when you podcast. So I had discussed last time that I was thinking about my podcasting schedule. I do homeschool my son, which is fine. He's great. But between homeschooling and then, you know, my husband's home on the weekends, and obviously I want to spend time with him because he works a lot. So, like, I don't really get a lot of knitting done on the weekends or really during the majority of the day. The majority of my knitting time comes late afternoon after we're done with school, evening after everybody's gone to bed if I'm not tired and I want to stay up some. So, by the time that Wednesday, which was my previous recording day, by the time Wednesday came around, I really had no progress. I was just hitting my stride on finally making progress. So I thought that maybe I would try recording later in the week. So I'm going to try to keep up the Friday thing and see how I feel about it. And it's been good. I wanted to podcast today, so I'm really glad that I got to do that. My first work in progress is my hay sweater. This is from Lane issue 3, and it is designed by Claire Mountain. I'm knitting it out of Yarn on the House, so Yoth Yarns in their little brother base. It is a merino cashmere nylon 80-10-10, and I am done with the body. I'm on my first sleeve, and I'm magic looping it. I'm rock and rolling it, and it's going to be super cute. I've put the body on a few times, and honestly, I could just wear it as a vest. It's super nice. The yarn is wonderful. It's very squishy. It's this gorgeous burgundy color. I don't own anything in this color. But I took a book. I didn't take the whole book. I just took a page. I'm sorry. From Ellie of Skein-Deer, because she knit one in burgundy, and it's just adorable. And so I wanted to have a burgundy sweater too. So that was the one that I picked. And it is living in my Lila Styles bag. This is, the fabric is from Coraline. So, which is one of my favorite movies. I love Coraline. Everybody I know is a little creeped out by it. My husband gets really creeped out by it. But, I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was just dark enough to be adult, but still, you know, childish and entertaining. But yeah, I especially love the cat. I like anything Keith David does. I think he's a national treasure. So, yeah, I would have to say that I found that, I think through Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn. She might be the reason that I found that brand. So, all right, my next work in progress is my Zweig. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter, and I am knitting it out of Amanda Hope Yarn. She is a local to me dyer. Her name is Wendy. Her company is Amanda Hope. I believe it's named for her daughter. Yeah, this is her extra fine Aussie extra fine fingering weight. And I've made quite a lot of progress. I think the last time that I showed it to you, it was here. This is part of my little stash enhancement. This is my Twillin print coffee stitch marker. And it actually comes with this little gold hoop that I used as my beginning of round. So yeah, whenever I spoke to you last time, I had just finished the lace section, and this is probably 2 days of knitting, maybe, and I'm not knitting on it religiously. Like, I put it down for a while to work on my hay. It's just going super fast. So the colors that I'm using are navy and regatta for the contrast here. This is my second Zweig. For those of you who've watched podcasts for a little while, you know I have a purple one. And I need another one for me. I'm gonna need it. This will actually be on display at Houston Fiber Fest, so if you are in the area, I highly recommend that you stop by Wendy's booth and say hi, and it'll be there. So you'll be able to squish and squeeze and try it on if you want to. That is living in my Women of STEM bag, which is by Knitted Niceties. She's a girlfriend of mine, and she's based in Boise, Idaho. Her bags are really lovely. I like the squish factor. She also, when I requested it, found lab bottles, like vials for your laboratory, and that's what she lined it in. So I think it's really fun. I really enjoy it. All right. Look at that. We're through 2 works in progress and a finished object. We are speeding along today, folks. Yeah, I think that's it. I have this tiny little mini thing that I started. This is going to be a Quaker yarn stretcher. It is out of, oh my gosh, Deep Stash. This is probably one of the first skeins I ever bought from a real yarn store. I bought it at, I don't remember. It's a Boise yarn shop, and they're still open. So Twisted U, maybe? Twisted U, probably. The Jitterbug. That's all I know, and I don't know if that's the colorway or the brand name. I'm not sure. But it's a heavy fingering, kind of a sport weight. I don't know how many yards are in it. I've lost the tag. I no clue. And I'm making a Quaker yarn stretcher. This is going to be a birthday gift for my niece who is turning 6 in July. And she has been requesting, politely, as a 6-year-old does, requesting, not nagging, that would be too strong of a word, but definitely requesting heavily that I make her a scarf or a shawl. And I figured that her birthday was a good time to get that done, even though it is hot as all get out. But then it'll be done and I won't have to worry about it, because whenever fall does hit again, I'm gonna want to make sweaters. Let's just be real about who we're talking to here. So yeah, those are all of my works in progress. I have a pair of socks on the go for my husband for Father's Day, but I'm about to talk about that in just a second. So actually, I'll just get into that. And that'll kind of lead us into stash enhancement a little bit. So if you watched last week, you'll know that for Father's Day, I'm making my husband a pair of socks, like I just said. This is my Twillin print bag. Isn't it cute? Y'all, go get one. Anyway, I have a skein of Lupin on Brit Sock, which is a BFL nylon base from Nomadic Yarns. It is named for Remus Lupin. He's the teacher in Prisoner of Azkaban who turns into a werewolf. And it's, sorry about the cord, it's really pretty. I'm super loving it. But because it is so dark and so neutral, I was trying to think of what I wanted to do for the heel. My husband is open. He doesn't care. But he really likes ankle socks, and the striping is just so pretty. I just didn't want to ruin the stripes, and that's not something I normally care about, but I cared this time, you guys. And so I was looking at my stash, and I don't have a lot of base neutrals. I have some gray. I have plenty of up in here. I have plenty of charcoal that I could have used for heels, but I wanted something that would pop a little bit more. So I really wanted to take this brown, and I really wanted to mimic that in the heel color. So of course I get online and I'm looking at all of my favorite dyers, and nobody has any brown. I have picked the wrong season to want brown. Go figure. And I even emailed or requested, and just to double check, sometimes mini skeins, sets, sometimes you make too many of a color, or something happened and you had to break up a set and now you have extras laying around, and I was really hoping. No dice. And so finally, I asked and I got a no. And then a couple days later, Ellie of Artistic Lily texted me and was like, I have a brown left over. Did you still want it? Yes. So if you've never used Artistic Lily, Ellie has amazing yarns. Amazing and wonderful customer service, might I add. So this is the mini skein that she sent me. It's called Toffee Nut. And it's not a perfect match. It's a little bit more yellow. The one I have is a little bit more copper, but this is going to work absolutely perfectly. It is barely off. So it'll be a wonderful contrast color, and I am super excited about it. She sent me the mini, and because she was so kind, and I love her yarn, I did ask her to send me a sock set. So she sent me that, and then she sent me this. And this is on her Gotta Have Socks fingering base. It is 400 yards of an 80/20 merino nylon, and it is called Freshly Brewed. And anybody on this podcast who has been here for more than 5 minutes, and if you haven't, you're going to learn now. I love coffee. We could have coffee all day long, every day of the week. I don't care. Hot, cold, I like it all. I prefer hot, but Houston. So I have really gotten into espresso over ice. So anyway, this is Freshly Brewed, and it's got some glorious pinks in here. If you follow her on Instagram, she has pictures of this as a 3-color kit with Ellie, I'm so sorry. Tea and crumpets and pressed flowers, maybe? Anyway, but it goes this really light pink into kind of a darker, a lighter with this color kind of with little splashes of brown, and then into this one. And it's phenomenal. I can't wait to make them. She did a mystery sock club of Agatha Christie books, and she did one for the Orient Express, and I bought that. It was this beautiful dark blue, beautiful light blue with dark splashes through it, and a red contrast mini, and it was gorgeous. They're some of my favorite socks. I'm really excited to cast this on, and I got my mini, which is something that I am so excited about. I was really starting to get desperate there, you guys. I didn't want to have to buy a Color Riot set from Hue Loco, which is 10 minis if you don't know that. Just to get that one middle color in the brown. But I would have. I probably would have. And then I would have colors for my blanket, right? So maybe I should have done that. It's okay. I'll just get more from Ellie. It's fine. So yeah, so that was a nice little victory for me on my knitting. Sometimes you play yarn chicken or you don't gauge swatch and you have failures. I have a lot of failures. So it was really nice to have a victory one time and have a plan actually come to fruition. So yeah, I'm gonna take a drink and tell me about your week. What are you doing? Are you staying cool? Is it hot there? I'm willing to bet it is. It's hot everywhere. And if it's not hot where you live, can I come see you? Can we visit? Just for like a day, please. Yeah, all right. So in the beginning, I did touch a little bit on my Summer Sun Make-Along, which I am hosting until the end of July. I'm a terrible host, you guys. I haven't even cast on a top for that. Lies. I cast on a Ripple Bralette in the Tits Out colorway from Countess of Blaze. It's the original Tits Out. If I want exposure, I will get my Tits Out. If you're not aware of what Tits Out Collective is, I highly suggest you Google it. You'll be able to find it. It was a really, really wonderful initiative, and a lot of dyers got involved, and I'm really hoping that they kind of revamp it and do it again. It was really cool to see everybody's interpretation of that. I love it when dyers collab or have a common theme and then they die for it. I think that's so interesting to see different styles be translated onto things like that. Yeah, but I haven't cast my top on yet for the Summer Sun Make-Along because I can't decide what I want to make. What I want to make changes every time I open my Ravelry. Every time I open my Ravelry. Okay, so for a very long time, I thought that I wanted to make the lounging top in Fingering Weight by Joji Locatelli. And then I changed that, and I went from the lounging top over to the Salty Blue top by Katrin Schneider. And I have knit, one of my hand knit sweaters is the painting sweater by Katrin Schneider, and I love the pattern. So I was really excited. I really wanted to do that. And then Lina magazine, issue 8 came out. And you guys, I just can't with these people. If you have not seen issue 8 yet, go to your store. Just buy it. Don't even go look at it. Just buy it. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely beautiful. Lina is not this is something I'm going to say in preparation for those of you who have never picked up this publication or do not own this publication. Or look at this publication online and kind of balk a little bit at that like $30 price tag. This is not a magazine. It's not. I don't care what they market it as. I don't care what they tell you. Okay. It is a periodic pattern book that just comes out. There are recipes. There are exclusive interviews. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But it's between 12 and 14 patterns by so many designers. I'm just going to stick this here. I hope you can see some of it. It has editor letters. It has people that they are featuring. Ocean from Oceans by the Sea has a exclusive interview in here. Oh, so sorry, Ocean. Anyway, she has amazing hand-dyed yarns. And she works with all natural dyes, and I think it's amazing. I really loved it. There's some really beautiful stuff in here. So a couple of the things that I am going to be making, just so that we all know, I will be making the Georgie, like will be very quickly. Okay. I will be making. Oh, see, they have cardigans, and I'm not a cardigan wearer. So I love them, but I'm not gonna make it. Another one, everybody has been really into, I don't want to lose my page. Here we go. Sorry, I'm not trying to make this so awkward. This is the seam sweater, and it's got a really pretty feather and fan texture on it. I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. And then the other one that I will probably be making is the Uoma. And it's a drop shoulder with this really pretty knit purl detail that travels along the body, which kind of reminds me of like my things like the Winterfell cardigan, you know, where it has the textures that run along the body to make like a geometric shape, which I really love. I think they're super pretty. Anyway, the tangent. So the whole reason I pulled out this book is that they have the Flower Buds top. And this is absolutely stunning. And I want to make this so bad. So bad, you guys. So then I was like, well, I could make it for the Summer Song Make-Along, right? And you do hold 2 yarns together. You're supposed to use a fingering weight lamb's wool and a lace weight alpaca. So the drape on this would be amazing. And it would be buttery soft, and it would be warm if you wanted to layer it in pieces. And I'm not going to do any of that. I am in love with the color and the texture that this fabric has on it. I actually really like the color too. But I don't know that I would do the alpaca. I like alpaca fine, personally. I'm probably kind of in a minority on that one. I like alpaca just fine. But I don't really like the fuzz factor that everybody seems to really be into with the Suri alpaca and the mohair. Like I said, we live in a very humid place, and it might not... You might be able to dunk wool in water to a certain extent and kind of like wring it out and it'll be dry in 5 minutes, but sticky wools like that tend to absorb the humidity, or at least feel like they do in your hands. And they don't make for super pleasant knitting. I just don't like cobwebby, sticky stuff, I guess. That's just my personal opinion. I think the patterns are beautiful. I would love to be one of those people that made things like that, but that's not really my vibe. So anyway, I got 2 colors from Autumn and Indigo, and if you've watched the show before, I have definitely spoken about Claire. Autumn and Indigo, sorry. She used to be based in South Carolina, but they have moved to Spokane, Washington. Here is her semi-bent up, sorry, label. This is her classic sock, which gives you 463 yards of a 75-25. That's a lot of yardage, you guys, for a fingering weight. Like 430 kind of tends to top most people out. 463 that's pretty good bang for your buck. And I got it in 2 colors. I got it in the color Heirloom? No, Winter Bloom. Sorry, Claire. Winter Bloom and Rosewood. And I really love them both. I have 1 more skein of this and another skein of this. So I skeined this up for my salty blue top. But you know, a Flower Buds top would be really pretty in either one of these colors. But I can't make up my mind. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Tell me what I should do. Gosh, you're so pretty. I just love them. See, I'm a sucker for these dusky pinks, mauves, that kind of a thing. I really like those colors a lot. So yeah, so since we've basically kind of done all of the stash enhancement anyway, I'll just go ahead and continue on with that. And the other thing that I purchased this from the Modern Skein in Montgomery, Texas, who also has an online presence. They started out as an online store, actually. I purchased the Backyards chicken collection from Hugh Loco. This is part of the Hens collection, and it is the Partridge Silky Bantam. And if I can remember, I will stick a picture right here so you can see the chicken that it is, that was the inspiration, rather. So it's very pretty. It's browns and grays and blues and some beautiful speckles. It's got the two contrasting colors, which I really appreciate, because even if you don't use both of them, like, these are gorgeous. I'm going to use them for something. I missed the pre-order for the golden laced Wyandotte, and if you don't know what that bird looks like, you should Google it. It doesn't look real. It's a golden hen, and like all of her breast feathers are basically outlined in navy. Nature's weird, man. I was looking at some of the chickens that she uses for these backyard collections. They're better than parrots. Like, I didn't know chickens came in all those colors. I liked it. I learned something. It was really cool. But yeah, all right. Well, now that I have gabbled and sped through that, I'm out of stuff to talk about. There's nothing back here anymore. So let's chat. Tell me about your day. Let's see. I'm going to touch back a little bit, a couple of weeks, and we're just going to kind of talk a little bit more in depth about some stuff that I did over the Memorial Day weekend. I had a really hard time talking about that last week. So if you are still here after 8 episodes and thank you. I'm sorry it is so inconsistent. I promise I will try to keep the energy level up from now on. I had a hard time, you guys. So yeah, my husband and I built a bench. I love it. I sit out there all the time. I wish the weather would get its we should get its stuff together. It's really nice when it's raining. We have a covered patio, and then the bench is really comfy. So I like knitting out there when it's raining. This spider on my window. I still can't tell if he's inside or outside. I'm pretty sure he's between my window and my screen, but I don't know how they're getting there. He's relatively big. Here we go again. This is the second episode with this stupid spider. Oh, gosh. Anyway, it's fine. I got it. It's going to be okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, okay. And then I recorded last weekend. I did. Yeah. Spent some time with my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law and I are pretty close. So she has a daughter who's the same age as my son, and she comes over and they play and we have coffee, and it's great. It's nice to have an adult to talk to every now and then. When you homeschool, you tend to find that you don't talk to as many adults as you probably should. And we don't do co-op or anything at this moment for various reasons. We just don't. And let's see what else. God, I don't even know what I've done, you guys. Not much, really. I caught up on a bunch of podcasts. I'm out of podcasts, kind of, sort of now. I was talking to Julie from Sweet Sparrow Yarns today. I was like, what have you been listening to? What are you watching? Can you help me? I'm out. I don't know what to do anymore. So yeah, I went last night. Thursday, right? Yeah, I went last night and I had dinner at Panera and some knitting time with Sonia from the El Rey Knits podcast. So if you haven't watched that, she and her sister-in-law Alyssa do that. They're local to me. They're a lot of fun. I still haven't met Alyssa, but this is the second time I've been out with Sonia, and she's really sweet. So we went out last night and we did that, and then I woke up this morning and got to have more knitting time back at another Panera. Coincidence. It's a total coincidence, you guys. With a friend of mine here locally who owns Twisted Yarns, which is closing, sadly, or has closed, excuse me. She just closed. She's still fighting through all the bureaucracy to get the doors, get everything completely shut, and so I wanted to see if I wanted to see if I could catch her, and just kind of see if she could, see if she needed somebody to talk to, or if she needed an ear or something. She's had a lot on her plate lately, so everybody's doing fine. Everybody's good. I think this next week we'll do a museum trip. Me and the Munchkin, me and the boy. My husband should be off work here pretty shortly. He will work a half day tomorrow. My brother-in-law is dating a girl whose whose son turns 3 tomorrow, so there's going to be a birthday party. And we don't have any plans for Sunday, but there's going to have to be something that, I don't know, I guess it'll have to be something, right? So maybe I'll sand that bench and stain it. I have everything I need for it. It's just hot. I don't want to be out there. Y'all, I'm ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. It's official. Yeah. So I think that that's pretty much all I've got. I'm sure as soon as I turn this off, I'll be like, oh man, I forgot all about that. I'm positive that's going to happen. I can already feel it. I do have a couple of fun. I know I'm excited. I'm excited to get those and share them with you here on the podcast. So, thank you again for sticking with me. If this is your first time, thanks for checking me out. I hope you'll stay. If you give me a like and a subscribe, then you'll know when I post. Like I said, I'm working on every week, you guys. This seems to be a lot more comfortable. I seem to have more to talk about. So we'll try to go from there, okay? Yeah, I can't think of anything. So here's hoping, okay? I will talk to you next time. I'm gonna go. Thanks. I'll see you soon, okay?